Yo, what's going on, everyone? Today is December the 19th, 2022. Another edition of the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show. Monday through Friday, we are here from 5:15 until 6:15, 6:30 sometimes. Appreciate you guys for tapping in and rocking with me as always. Hit the like button for me as you guys come in, retweet the show. All that good stuff is appreciated as always. We got a really weird what is it, like 7 game slate today. So let's go ahead and get into it. Quick recap of yesterday. 1-1 on official plays that I gave out. Marcus Smart over 7.5 assists. Did not cash. He finished on the hook with a lot of guys missing a lot of wide open shots yesterday for the Boston Celtics. Kind of correlated with them losing that game as well. And then I also gave out the New York Knicks first quarter money line, and that was a cash. That one cash. Little sweaty. Shout out to Emmanuel quickly for hitting the 3-pointer that we needed in that one. So we finished 1-1. But I had a couple personal plays yesterday that cashed as well. So it was a pretty good day yesterday, even though it was Sunday. If you listen to the morning show, then you avoided the big spread that the Brooklyn Nets was laying in Detroit. And we got a few of those today too, man. The NBA is really, I think, overcompensating for a lot of these teams that are traveling, back-to-back road games, and they're already, not a great team. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got 9 games today. It's not a lot that I like. I have one bet that I placed. It's already on my page in the Bet US video that I gave out earlier. It's in the Bucks and Pelicans game, and we'll get to that shortly. Let's get to it though. Let's see if we can find some stuff, man. I'm interested in, hearing what other people got to say today as well. Cause like I said, I only have one bet that I've placed so far, but I'm looking to make a few more. I want to get a few more in. Tomorrow we do have a 5-game slate. That'll probably be a little better. I think tomorrow's slate's a little bit better, even though we have more games today. So let's still see if we can find some value. It's a lot of, manipulation with the injury report, like I talk about always, but let's see if we can find some cash, man. What up, Zachariah, Frank, Sean, Capper Taylor, Mad Stoney, my guys in the chat. Appreciate y'all for being here. Hit the like button for me. Let's get into the show, man. So real quick, let me get my notes up. All right. So first game up, we are going to the Jazz and the Cavs game. And real quick, let me just make sure we have the most updated injury news. You guys are up to date. I'm up to date as well. It looks like the last thing we got was some stuff for tomorrow. Clay, Wiggins, Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray, Jokic, Terry Rozier, doubtful. I thought he probably wouldn't play in this one, even though he could get ruled in. Wendell Gabriel not on the injury report for Monday, so it looks like we'll get some. When I say we, I mean the Lakers will get some frontline depth. Austin Reeves is out, as well as LeBron James. Patrick Beverley still questionable. It's a lot of things to watch for. If you guys haven't been paying attention, just for whatever reason, not being able to kind of check in, definitely check out the injury report news, man. It's a lot going on. A lot going on before you make your bets. Jordan McLaughlin is still out. The Timberwolves play against the Mavericks tonight. He missed yesterday's game. He scored 150 points against the Bulls yesterday. Naz Reid looks like he's going to play. I'm putting all this in the chat so you guys can see it. Looks like D'Lo is going to be in. Rudy Gobert is questionable, makes that game difficult to cap. Devin Booker has been ruled out. We don't know the status of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander yet. John Collins is expected to play for Atlanta. We got a lot going on today, man. Luka's in. Davis Bertans is also available to play. Josh Green, who is significant off that bench for Dallas, is not in. Gary Trent Jr. listed as questionable. It's a lot going on, man. OG Anunoby questionable. Makes these games extremely difficult to cap, man. Extremely, extremely difficult to cap. Kelly Olynyk is ruled out. All this stuff I'm putting in the chat for you guys. Nurkic is now listed as questionable. If he's out, you have to look at Josh Hart rebounds. Probably a ladder spot for Josh Hart rebounds. One of the things that I did not write down, but that definitely deserves the need to be written down. I don't need to see my pen, but I gotta make note of that. Josh Hart rebounds. Write that down if it wasn't on your list already. You want to take Josh Hart rebounds if Nurkic is ruled out. You already want to have it in your best slip too, so you can make sure you get it in. So let's get into the games, man. I think that's it. Yeah. So let's get into the game. So first game up, we got the Jazz and the Cavs. Uh, Donovan Mitchell, first time seeing his old team. It's at home. The Jazz are on a second game of a 3-game road trip. They got beat up pretty badly against the shorthanded Bucks on Saturday. They play again tomorrow in Detroit. Total in this one opened at 224. I want to say 223, 224 is all the way down to 220. I agree with the movement towards the under. We know that the Cavs typically don't allow their opponents to hit their team total when they are at home. And we know that away teams playing on their first leg of a back-to-back are 59, 30, and 1 to the under, which is a 67% hit rate to the under this year so far. 7 straight teams have gone under their team total, their projected team total, when you look at teams on back-to-backs that are away teams. We saw some of that yesterday as well. So it's also applicable in the Dallas Mavericks beatdown of the Portland Trail Blazers on Friday. It's a lot of games that kind of hit this spot. You look at this Cavs team; they've won three. They've won 3 in a row and covered 3 in a row and 2 in a row at home, but failed to cover the last 2 as well. This will be a third game in 4 nights for them, and they're coming off the overtime win as well. Both of those games went down to the wire. The Dallas Mavericks, the shorthanded Dallas Mavericks, did take this team to overtime. Still stay under the total. I think the Cavs won that one 100-99. Home favorites, the Cleveland Cavaliers, playing their third game in 4 nights, in which their last game was a home game, and they're a home favorite in their next game, are 13-5 to the under. Another reason why I like the under 62% hit rate there. You look at this Cavs team, this is a funky schedule spot because they got a lot of meaningful games coming up. And I'm not sure how they prioritize these. Donovan Mitchell is playing this game against his old team. If you guys don't know, he made some comments about, having his joy back, which kind of looked like a shot in a stab in the back towards the Utah Jazz. So I'm pretty sure he's going to get up for this game. I'm pretty sure Utah's going to get up for this game as well. The Cavs do have the Bucks on deck, and that's a big, conference game, divisional game. I think they're in the same divisional game as well on Wednesday, which could be a look-ahead spot. They also have some other Eastern Conference foes that they've lost to already. I think the Cavs' next 3 opponents are all teams that they've lost to already this season. So something to kind of pay attention to in this one. I think the total in this one, I think if I could go back in time, I probably would play the 223 under when I capped it last night. The one reason the one reason I wanted to stay off of the total though is because you look at the Jazz, they got smacked up pretty badly in the loss to the Milwaukee Bucks on Saturday night. First game on the East Coast after having a few games at home where they beat who did they beat? They beat the New Orleans Pelicans back to back before traveling to Milwaukee the other day. So one of the things I was looking at, they lost that game by I think 27 points to the Bucks, the shorthanded Bucks without Giannis Antetokounmpo the other day. So one of the things I looked at is when teams typically lay down like that in a game and have just one of those really, really bad spots, they just don't bring it for whatever that night. They typically come back with something in the next game. And because they come back with something in the next game, that kind of kept me off of taking the Cavs on the spread because, like I said, they haven't been covering spreads lately. And it kind of kept me off of the under as well. I think the game probably still goes under. I don't want to play it at 220 because when I literally started handicapping this game last night at about 8:30 Eastern time and I was like, that total's like probably right on par. So if I'm not going to take it at the 223 when it was available, I'm definitely not taking it at 220 now. I still think it probably goes under, but I just hate losing the value there. So I'm not playing the total. Spread has moved towards Cleveland. I don't think Cleveland probably covers a 7-point spread. They are really, really good at home, but they fail to cover those spreads recently. Like I said, some big games on deck. So I guess if I'm playing this one, I'm playing Utah. Give me Utah plus the points, but I don't have an official play in this game at all. I do think that, like I said, it's a lot of angles you can attack the prop market as far as revenge in this game. We know Lauri Markkanen was traded from this team. Jordan Clarkson used to play for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Donovan Mitchell, of course, came over in the trade from Utah. And I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting somebody. It's a lot of different components that you can kind of attack these guys. I couldn't talk anybody off of taking Lauri Markkanen's points. We know one thing about the Cleveland Cavaliers is with Jared Allen and Evan Mobley down low, they don't give up a lot of points in the paint. So I could also see, guys like Jordan Clarkson having to have a big game. These like attacking these guards because you won't get a lot of scoring from outside. You'll shoot a lot of 3-pointers. So I would look for some of these 3-point shooters. Kelly Olynyk's out tonight, so Walker Kessler will get a lot of burn in this game. His rebounds might be in play if that's potentially in the actually a prop that you could bet if it's available. But moving along, I feel like I already took too long on this game. Let's move on to the next one. And I appreciate the comments too, man. I see y'all going crazy in the chat. I can't keep up with everything. But I'm going to try to keep it moving. So next up, we got this Toronto Raptors and the 76ers game. Spreading this one was at 7 this morning when I made the banner. Total was at 219. It's going up to 220, 219 and a half, some places as well. Spreads come down from 7 to 6.5. Still in favor of Philadelphia, but some money's coming into Toronto, and it's probably because of the upgrades like I talked about. I think Gary Trent Jr. I said was listed as questionable, and I know OG Anunoby was listed as questionable. And it was one of the reasons why I couldn't take the Raptors in this spot. It is a playoff revenge game, right? We know that Toronto was knocked out of the playoffs last year by the Philadelphia 76ers when they were injured last year. These two teams have a pretty good rivalry going, in my estimation. Really hard to take Toronto. Philly, this is their 5th straight home game. I'm typically not fading those teams at the crib, more rested, home favorite. They've covered all 4 of their games as a home favorite, dating all the way back to the game against the Lakers after losing to Houston, not this Sunday, but last Sunday. They came back home, beat the Lakers in overtime, ended up covering that spread. They haven't looked back since, even after starting off slow against the Golden State Warriors on Friday night on that ESPN game. Bad travel spot from Toronto. They're on a home road back-to-back, off a loss to the shorthanded Golden State Warriors yesterday, where they just absolutely could not get a stop. Also, a third game in 4 nights for Toronto, the first game of first road game of 3 straight home games. They didn't cover any of those home games. They've lost 5 in a row, haven't covered any of those 5 spreads. I mentioned the playoff revenge angle, but Toronto right now is not a buy-on team, especially if they don't have OG Anunoby, which I'm not sure if he's going to try to give it a go or not. But without OG, I do see the 76ers kind of covering this spread, taking care of the Raptors here. Defense is just kind of falling off a cliff without OG. They're not a bet-on team right now. So for me, it's pretty simple. It's Raptors or nothing. I could only look towards the more rested home favorite, Philadelphia, minus the 6.5. If OG Anunoby's out in this one, it probably goes to 7, and I probably end up playing that. Looks like we just got updated news that Mr. Gildress Alexander is going to be in after being listed as out, then being upgraded to questionable. Kirk Moss is ruled out for the 76ers in this one that we just talked about. And I think that's it. So continuing on, the Magic and the Hawks. I talked about, who was it that I just talked about? I put it up here. John Collins. So I guess DeJounte is not going to play in this game, but I saw some stuff that said that he was questionable for this one earlier. I feel like Collins is expected to play, which helps Atlanta out a lot. They need his defense. They need his offense. They just need another body. This Magic team, extremely impressive. They've won 6 in a row, covered all 6 spreads, and covered by margin because they've been 7 to 8 point dogs in all these ones and been winning by 7 to 8 points. Impressive back-to-back wins over the weekend in Boston. This is a third game in 4 nights for them, and a road back-to-back. Magic are 3-1 against the spread and 3-1 to the over when playing on the third game in 4 nights this season. So typically they do well in these spots either way. These teams have already played 3 times, with Atlanta winning and covering the first 2 meetings. But Orlando did beat this team last week in the third matchup. They scored 135 points in that game as well. It was in Orlando, 135 to 124. So now you get the Hawks, who smacked the Charlotte Hornets in a game that I was on the wrong side of. I don't know why nobody told me to not bet against Charlotte, but I mean not to bet on Charlotte. But I bet on Charlotte the other day, thinking that they would have the team that would come out and at least had a lead, trying to fade Atlanta in the first half. That did not work. So you get Atlanta coming back home, extremely rested because they haven't played a game since Friday. So off 2 days rest. Magic probably feeling really good about themselves. I could kind of see this game going either way. Magic have covered pretty much every spread. If you've been riding with the Magic, I say keep going. Keep going with the Magic because you got some money that you already profited. You up with the Magic. If you want to keep taking them to cover spreads because they've been winning outright 6 in a row, go by all means, do your thing. The Hawks do kind of own the Magic, though. Other than the win the other day, the Hawks do kind of own the Magic. The Magic are playing really, really hard. With the if you watch the games, though, the Magic, the thing that stops the Magic from being extremely great is the ability of the other team to be able to knock down shots. The Hawks can get hot in Atlanta. We know that the Hawks can get hot in Atlanta. Bogdanovich is back. AJ Griffin can shoot. He's an iffy shooter, but he can knock down some shots. We know what Trae Young can do. I'd be looking at Trae Young assists in this one. I know we played it twice, I think, in this series, because like I said, these teams have already played twice already. Trae Young cashed his assist in Orlando for us, not the last time these two teams played, but the time before that. He cashed at halftime. He had, I think he had 10 assists at halftime, finished with 14 in that game. So Trae Young assists, I think, is in play for this one. I also, just looking at if you think about, the Magic on the third game in 4 nights, roll back to back. Typically, you start to make mistakes, and it's typically on the defensive end. So I'll probably attack this game in props just because sides have been a little crazy. The Magic, like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if they covered. Also, see the Hawks. It wouldn't surprise me if the Hawks was able to win this one by 10, getting Collins back and being a more rested home team. That's what I got for you guys there. The total on that one has gone up just a tad bit too, from 228 to 230. So I guess the books are anticipating a little more offense in that one. Next game, we have the Dallas Mavericks and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Don't have a lot on this one. I do think that there's something to kind of fading the team that just came off of scoring 150 points against a a team that plays no defense in the Chicago Bulls at all. Y'all know how I feel about the Bulls. Never, ever, probably in eternity will I back the Bulls. But this Minnesota team scored 150 points and shot 66% from the field yesterday against the Chicago Bulls at home. So you get them on the back-to-back. Dallas Mavericks are coming off a 1-point loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers on Saturday in a game where none of the starters kind of played in that one. Luka is in for this one. They're 4-point favorites, 4.5-point favorites. I'm sorry, at pretty much everywhere. Total's going up 2 points. Timberwolves have been scoring. I know that Rudy Gobert's listed as questionable. I would wait until we got the news if he was in or not, depending on which side you want to take. I'm not playing a side in this one, but I'll be looking towards Dallas, man. I think Dallas off in a way loss. Getting Luka back, he's fresh. I think that they have enough defense to be able to slow down this Minnesota's offense. And I'd probably be looking for Dallas to be able to cover this short spread, even though it's on the road. And I know they haven't necessarily played their best basketball on the road. So that's what I got for you guys there. Didn't really attack this game at all. Didn't, do a lot of queries or SDQL trends. Just kind of going off, just looking at the game, the eye test, that type of thing. Also, don't know when these teams play again, or if the Mavs have a back-to-back or any of that stuff. So don't take my opinion on that game. Next game, we have the Portland Trailblazers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Another game that I didn't really look at, in extreme detail either. OG Anunoby is going to be a game time decision, just released by Underdog. Another game that I didn't really look too much into was the Portland Trailblazers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. One thing I did look at was the Blazers kind of laying their egg on Friday in Dallas before bouncing back against Houston on Saturday. So this is going to be for the Blazers their fourth straight road game, and also their third game in 4 nights, their fourth game in 6 nights. This team is 12-5 against the spread on the road, 7-3 last 10 against the spread. OKC's also 7-3 ATS last 10. They're coming off the big upset win on Saturday night at home over the Memphis Grizzlies when they were the game that Ja Morant got kicked out when they were shorthanded without SGA and Josh Giddey in that one. SGA looked like he's going to be in for this game, which brings the spread down, even a tad bit more. I think the Blazers can get the job done in this one. I kind of like the Blazers in this one. I like fading OKC off the big win. I like the Blazers having, a day off yesterday. They didn't have to play yesterday. And I think they probably look to finish the road trip off strong, man. So I'll probably be looking towards the Blazers in this one. Like I said, nothing that I played. And if Nurkic is out, you have to I think, in my estimation, you have to jump on Josh Hart rebounds. He's the best rebounder for this team. Also not sure if Jeremy Grant, I know Jeremy Grant was on the injury report. Also not sure if he's going to be playing. Pretty sure we're still waiting on all that news as well. Next game, we have the Bucks and the Pelicans. these 1-point spreads are really, really difficult to cap most of the time. On one hand, you had the Bucks with arrested Giannis, coming off the big win after getting smacked up by the Memphis Grizzlies the other day. They go home, they take care of business against the visiting Utah Jazz. Bobby Portis absolutely went to town in that game. For the Pelicans, they're coming off a extremely frustrating loss. I know that they were frustrated. I watched the post-game interviews, watched Coach Willie Green, watched CJ McCollum talk about how it's embarrassing to watch Devin Booker score 58 points. Same thing for Zion Williamson. I think the refs were not on the Pelicans side in that game. Devin Booker, I think, shot more free throws than the whole Pelicans team did. So I could only look towards, I think the Pelicans could win this game today. I don't like taking the Pelicans when they don't have Brandon Ingram. He will be out in this game. I think this is 11th straight game that he's missed. But I kind of feel like whichever one of these teams are at home is the team that I'll probably take. I think the Pelicans play extremely great basketball at home. I think that the Bucks play extremely great basketball on the road, but they play better at home. So I probably, if I had to take a side in this one, I'd probably take the points with the Pelicans in this spot, especially being fired up and motivated off the loss the other day. But I don't want to focus too much on a side because it is a coin toss type of game. But whenever you see a point spread at 1, the books are telling you that anything can happen. We saw it yesterday. I think the Knicks were 1-point favorites yesterday, and they ended up winning the game by a possession. So it definitely comes down to the possession. It can definitely come down to a last possession. I think this one could potentially come down to a last possession as well. So I kind of focused on a total. I see it at 228 and a half, 227 and a half, 228 in general. And I played it this morning. It opened at 226 and a half. It's gone up, and I actually like the under. I'm against the market on this one. Real quick, turn to my notes. So I was looking at some things that led me to the under. First of all, we know that the Bucks are a lot better defensive team on the road. They typically rely on their defense on the road because they don't score as many points on the road. They're 10-2 to the under in away games. They're also 4-1 in games when they're 4-1 to the under in games when they're away favorites. With the spread being in one possession, with the spread indicating it'll be a one possession game. They're 4-1 to the under. The Bucks also play at a slower pace on the road than they do at home, and they're 4-2 to the under in away games versus the West in general. I also looked at the Bucks giving up the 6 fewest points in the paint versus the Pelicans averaging the 3rd most points in the paint. So I think the way that these two teams like to play, I think that they kind of cancel each other out, and we see a pretty slow paced game with few points. I think we see a few points. Also, you get the Pelicans 4-1 to the under traveling from road to home. You also get the Pelicans scoring the 5th most points off turnovers, but the Bucks only allowing the 2nd most points off turnovers. So yeah, I like the under. I think I gave you guys enough. I got a bunch of notes on the under in this one, but I like the under. I think this game probably ends up about 111, 109, 112 to 110, something like that. But I think it's a few too many points for two really, really solid defensive teams. So I played the under 228. It's actually the only bet that I've played so far today. Continuing on. Let's see. San Antonio versus Houston. Not a lot to really break down in this one. San Antonio does have Keldon Johnson, I think, on the injury report. And they're probably going back to, trying to tank. Money's come in on Houston in this one. They opened at 4-point favorites, is up to 5. Totals come down from 229 to 227 and a half. And I think if you watch Ronald's show, Let's Cap, I know a lot of people don't tune into that show. I would absolutely recommend you to. If you watch the show, it was a lot of data, a lot of support towards taking Houston in the first half, just to kind of avoid the second half. These two teams just played two weeks ago. And San Antonio did win that game, but it was a come from behind win. Houston was actually winning in San Antonio at halftime. They were winning by 2. So I like that play. I didn't play it. I'm not official on Houston in this one, but that's how I'll be looking. Get in and get out with Houston. They are something like 12-2, 10-2. No, I'm sorry, because they've lost the last 2, I think. So probably like 10-4. If I had to, I don't have it right in front of me. Matter of fact, I do have it right in front of me. Let me check real quick. So at home on the season, first half spread, the Houston Rockets are 10-3. First half spread against the spread. So right side for me just kind of says take Houston in that spot. So I do like Houston in that spot. Like I said, not official on it, but a lot of smart guys that I know are on Houston first half. I couldn't talk anybody off for a game either. Houston probably due for a win after losing the last two against the Miami Heat the other night, and then they followed that loss up with another loss to Portland Trailblazers the other day as well. Lakers and the Phoenix Suns. Spreading this one opened at 8.5, is all the way up to 10.5. LeBron is out. Austin Reeves is out. Devin Booker is out. I think Aiden is still questionable. Totals come down from 230.5 to 227.5. Westbrook. That's the way I'd look. Personal play for me yesterday, I played his rebounds plus assists, 14.5 when it was plus money. Pretty easy cash. He finished with 9, 9, and 8 or something like that. The value on this triple-double without LeBron is probably going down, but I think that's in play. I'd also be looking at Dennis Schroeder in this one. I don't know what his number's sitting at. I haven't checked any props in this game. I think Phoenix probably mops the floor with the Los Angeles Lakers without having AD, without having LeBron. But, the guys who are going to step up for the Lakers is a guy typically like Austin Reeves. When you don't have them, you're looking for guys like Lonnie Walker to step up, Thomas Bryant to have another good night. Pretty sure he may not have that much left in the tank because he did play extremely hard yesterday in a revenge game against the Washington Wizards on the team that he once played for. Actually played for last year while he was hurt. And then also Dennis Schroeder. I mentioned Dennis Schroeder already, but those guys will have opportunities tonight. Not sure what their lines are set at. This is a late start time, 9-10 Eastern. So I'll probably look at that game a little bit more, but I haven't really capped that one too much. And then the Charlotte and Sacramento game, the last game on the board. I talked about this one earlier on the morning show. Hornets coming in off the really hard-fought game last night in Denver. They lost that game, but they fought hard. They kept it close. They were able to cover the spread in that one. LaMelo shot the ball well. They had a lot of good role players kind of step up in that one. And I mentioned it yesterday, just not being able to, you can't lay points with a team that plays no defense. And Denver was, I think, laying 9 points, even though they were home favorites, they were laying 9 or 10 points in that spot. And that's way too many points that for a team that doesn't play defense. So this one opened at 7 last night. It went up to 9. Now I see it all the way up to 10.5 at some books. The total in this one went from 240 up to 241. And I was real close to getting there on the under. I think it's the only way I would look in this game. I think, for me, Sacramento coming back home off a 6-game road trip, I wouldn't be able to feel like I could back them at all in this spot, even though it's really difficult to want to jump on Charlotte. Having to play all those minutes. Also a third game in 4 nights for Charlotte because Charlotte did play against Atlanta on Friday. So they played Atlanta on Friday before traveling to Denver, probably Friday night and getting there on Saturday. Then you get one day off. You played Denver yesterday, and then you had to hop on a flight immediately after that game and get to Sacramento to play tonight. So really, bad for me. It's a bad spot for both of these teams. The Charlotte team, I think, can cover such a big number like 10.5, though. It's the only way I'll be able to look in this game. I'm not laying with 10 with Sacramento at the crib, first game back off of a 6-game road trip. So that's the way I'll be looking in this one. I know that's probably contrarian. I'm not looking at props in this one quite yet, but I do think, if we get Terry Rozier out, then I do think it's going to be some value on the Sacramento side. I also think, on the Charlotte side, I also think, I'm not sure what Sabonis is set at, but I think his rebounds plus assists is probably in play. His rebounds to just straight probably in play. Jokic has 16 rebounds with 8 minutes left in the second quarter yesterday. We've seen centers just dominate this Sacramento team, this Charlotte Hornets defense. So I'd be looking at, some Sabonis props in this one. Keegan Murray typically plays a lot better at home than he does on the road, even though he has stepped it up just a tad bit on the road. Played well in Cleveland the other day. Played well in Detroit, I think he did as also. So that's kind of what I got for you guys today, man. Like I said, strongest look on the board for me is the under in the Bucks in the Pelicans game. Not anything I'm really super interested in. I did kind of mention yesterday that $10 to 10K challenge. I gave you guys a leg for that one yesterday. I think it was Marcus Smart assist. I talked about, taking his assist down and kind of pairing it with something else. His assist was set at 7.5. If you took the 6, it cashed. Today, I think you could do something else again like that with Somebody like Sabonis rebounds, and maybe you look at a guy like Lauri Markkanen points, or you look at a guy like Donovan Mitchell points, or Darius Garland assists. Just kind of put two things together. Take them down just a tad bit. Get their alt lines in, and put those two things together to try to get the plus money and keep that challenge going. Shout out to everybody who's doing the challenge as well. That's really all I got for you guys today, man. So DeJounte Murray and John Collins are now game time decision. If you guys have a request or something that you want to talk out, send me a request, and I'll try to get to as many people as I can in the next maybe 20, 25 minutes. So send me those requests. Also, hit the like button for me if you guys can, man. Sabonis, I'm taking his points. Okay. Garland assists. I could see Garland assists being in play today. What do you use for your injury reports to receive latest updates? Are you using the ESPN one? No, I'm not. I'm using Underdog on Twitter. Just go to Twitter, type in Underdog NBA, and turn notifications on so you can get the latest ones. But yeah, send me your request, man. If anybody got anything they want to talk out, plays they want to share, let me know what you guys are on today. I'm gonna kick it off with my guy LJ. LJ been on fire lately. What up, LJ?
What's going on, Chris? How you doing, my brother?
I'm good, bro. How about yourself?
Man, good, man. Just got out work, trying to do some last-minute notes so I can find me some money today, man. I like betting NBA on Mondays coming off the weekend, so I'm locked and loaded, man. I got a lot of plays, but I'm only going to share a couple of them with you.
Okay, what you got for us?
Well, let's start off with my team, hometown team Rockets. I'm going to jump on, of course, going back to the well, Jalen Green, over 22.5 points. He averaging 24 points last 5 home games. I'm also going to go to his compadre in the backcourt, Kevin Porter Jr., man. I'm going to jump on his PRA over 28.5. Last 2 games versus the Spurs, he's averaging 21, 7, and 8, which gives you a 36. Average last 5 home games, 18, 5, and 5. That gives you a 28 right there. So I do believe he will get that PRA. I'm also going to sprinkle a little bit on his 2+ steals, too, because he's had 2+ steals 5 out of his last 7 games. And Vassell. Is Vassell in the lineup for the Spurs tonight?
Far as I know, I haven't seen anything that says otherwise. LJ, I would think so.
Okay, well, if he's in the lineup, I'm going to take his steals too, because like I tell y'all, that trend, Rockets give up 2+ steals to the guard position every single game. So I believe I think he is their leading stealer. He's had 3+ steals 3 out of his last 4 games. So I'm gonna jump on him, 2+ steals, because I like to ride the trend. Let's go with as far as the Dallas-Minnesota game, I'm gonna take the over 117.5 first half, because Dallas allows 60 points on the road in the first half. Minnesota allows 60 points in the first half at home. So that gives you 120 right there. So I do believe that first half we hit. Dallas is 12-2 to the over after loss as well, so I wouldn't be mad if anybody just took the full game over as well. Let's see, far as Garland, I'm gonna jump on Garland's assist over 7.5. He's averaging 9 last 5 home games, averaging 9 at home on the season. And I think I'm gonna do my Lil Wham special. He took the double-double, sprinkled the double-double. So I think I'm gonna sprinkle the double-double as well, because he's had a double-double last 2 games. Let's go to, let me see who else I got. Trae Young assists over 10.5 plus 100. I don't know. Like I said, I'm skeptical when people have their average and then you give it plus money. So it was a look, but I think I'm going to stay off of that one just because, they may be saying something, because you did just say DeJounte Murray is probably a game time decision now. So they may share that facilitate the ball tonight. And then, they're going to try to get back to Orlando because they beat them. Last game. So
absolutely.
Let's go with Luka PRA over 47.5, man. That's self-explanatory. Luka balls. He didn't play the last game, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna be locked and loaded ready tonight against Minnesota. So I'm on his PRA. Thomas Bryant for the Lakers, man. I'm gonna jump on his points and rebounds over 26.5, because when he plays 28 minutes, he's averaging 17 and 9. And those 3 games that he did play, I think AD didn't play those games. So for the fact that AD is out, he's going to get the minutes tonight. And LeBron's out too. So he should get some heavy minutes tonight. So he should get that points rebounds over 25.5. And I was looking at Westbrook too, but I can't find Westbrook. They don't have it out. So I can't take it. I can't make it official. And I'm going to jump on Sabonis rebounds. It's 13 and a half, man. It's pretty high, but I think I can trust it because the Hornets have given up rebounds. Jokic had 27, Duran had 19, Embiid had 12, and Mitchell Robinson had 13. So those last 4 games with those players, that's an average of 18 rebounds a game. So Sabonis should eat tonight at home, coming back home off the road trip. He's averaging 12 rebounds the last 6 games versus the Hornets. So I do believe he'll cash that. And I do believe that's it, my brother. Yeah, that's it. Oh, well, I'm on the Rockets first half, too. Like, because, they're 7-2, I think, first half at home. 8-2, something like that. So
10 and 3, LJ.
What was that?
Y'all up to 10 and 3 at the crib, first half.
Okay, there you go. So, yeah, I'm going to take that as well because, they lost to the Spurs last game. So they're going to be ready to get some get back tonight. So those are my plays for you, my brother.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you sharing those, LJ.
All right, man. You have a good one.
Cashing, bro. You too. Kick it to Bookie. What up, Bookie?
What up, Bookie? How you doing, Chris? I got a couple plays I'm going to share real quick. Gotta get out of here kind of quick. First one I want to talk about, I'm surprised I've not seen a lot of people talking about this. It's a big narrative play, and I know people love that. If people didn't know, Damian Lillard's actually 20 points away from breaking the Trailblazers all-time scoring record that Clyde Drexler holds right now. And I obviously think he's going to go out there and be aggressive, try to get that because he really wants it. In an interview, he said he was going to be aggressive because it means a lot for him sticking with this organization his whole career. Lillard has scored 25 plus in 11 of 18 games this season.
Hey, hold on, Bookie. Nurkic just got ruled out. If you want Josh Green rebounds, you better go hop on it real quick. All right, go ahead, Bookie. Yeah, go ahead. You got it.
But I even love this probably even more now. But so Lillard scored 25 plus in 11 of 18 this season, 8 of 13 since November, 5 of 7 in December, averaging 31 points per game on 19.7 field goal attempts in December. 12 of 23 guards shooting 17 plus field goal attempts versus OKC have scored 25 plus points. Trailblazers are 8-3 when Lillard scores 25 plus points, with losses coming to Brooklyn, Dallas, and a 1-point loss to Denver. Obviously, easier matchup against OKC without Josh Giddey. Nurkic out, Grant questionable still. Regardless, I still like them to pull this out tonight. OKC's, they're in the race for Wemby, so I definitely like that play. 2 other plays I like going over to Philly. I really like Melton, 2 plus 3-pointers made, 1 plus steal, minus 135, a little bit juiced. Melton's hit this in 4-4 with Harden and without Maxey, averaging 4.5 3-pointers made on 8.8 attempts with 3 steals in 37.4 minutes over those 4 games. Even with Harden and Maxey, he's hit in 4 of 8 games in just 22.4 minutes while still averaging 2 steals per game. Toronto, with or without Trent and OG, have been very vulnerable to spot-up shooters all season. They allow the 2nd highest spot-up frequency while allowing the Tide for the 6th highest score frequency and 4th highest field goal percentage. Melton attempting 3.3 spot-up attempts per game, and with no Maxey, Toronto's defensive scheme and Nurse keying in on Embiid and Harden, that number will definitely increase. Another play I like in that game is Joel Embiid. Over 10.5 rebounds, minus 115. System play for me with Toronto against a team that allows bottom 12 in opponent 3-point attempts and frequency because it correlates to the rebound distance. And for centers, they usually have the lowest rebound or the smallest rebound distance. Toronto shooting the 2nd least 3-point attempts per game over the last 12. So, that definitely helps too. Embiid's recorded 11 plus rebounds in 11 of 15 games since 2018 against Toronto, grabbing 12 plus in 7 of 15. Toronto allowing the 5th most rebounds per 48 minutes to centers over the last 30 days. Sabonis had 20 recently, Looney 11, Claxton 11. The list goes on, just a ton of centers going off against them. And then one more play I really like in the Utah and Cleveland game. I'm actually fading Jordan Clarkson. I got 2 units on this because I really like it. Clarkson under 23.5 points, Cleveland money line, minus 113. Clarkson's under 23.5 points in 18 to 20 games with Conley. Today gets a very tough matchup against Cleveland, obviously. Clarkson's scoring 40% of his points from 3 this season, with 93% of his 3-point attempts coming from above the break. Over the last 12 games, Cleveland allows the least 3-point attempts and the 3rd lowest 3-point percentage from that zone. Clarkson's also scoring another big chunk, 41% of his points in the paint. And over the last 12 games, Cleveland allows the 4th least points in the paint per game, with opponents showing the 6th lowest field goal percentage within 5 feet of the basket. And over the last 30 days, Cleveland allows the least points per game and 2nd lowest field goal percentage per 48 minutes to shooting guards. And over the last 12 games, have the best defensive rated in the NBA. And obviously with Mitchell in the get-back spot against Utah, I love them to pull this game out. So that's what I'm on today.
Got you. Hey, Bookie, before you leave, I got a question for you. If you like Clarkson to go under his points today, because, I mean, everything you said kind of makes sense. If you like him to go under, who points would you take over, if anybody? Or what offensive statistic would you take over for anybody on the Utah Jazz if you had to take it over?
I mean, it's definitely what you think matchup-wise happens, right? Because if Lauri's drawing Mobley, right, and then Kessler has Jared Allen under the basket, I guess you maybe have to like Mike Conley with Garland on him because he's maybe the sneakier scorer. Let me look at how Cleveland defense point guards real quick. They're allowing they're actually allowing the 4th least points per game to point guards over the last 30 days. Yeah, I don't know. Cleveland's obviously just a really tough defensive team. Obviously, someone has to score. I mean, Lauri, obviously, like you said, it's not a bad look. Personally, I think Mike Conley, because I just think he gets the best matchup, and he has a lower point line too, and he might see increased volumes with everyone else being restricted with the intense defense. So, yeah, it's tough. I think Utah, I think they're either going to get blown out. I don't even know. I think they just get blown out this game, to be honest. I'm really wholeheartedly on Cleveland this game.
Got you. Okay. No, I like it, but I like it. Best of luck to you. I hope you cash him, bro. Pick 'em P. What's going on, my guy? How you doing?
What's up, bro?
How you, man?
I'm really not even supposed to be here until 2023. I told you I'm on a little sabbatical.
Word.
But goddamn, I got a question. And so I wanted to I'm curious at what the community thinks. Before I do that, though, I want to give you one of my picks. It's not just a take; it's a little give us too. I'm going small today as well. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I do better on small slates. But Mikal Bridges, 20 points. That's my one play of the day I got it at some pretty good value, -108. Without Devin Booker, he's shooting over 20 field goal attempts. And anytime like the point line is like synonymous with the field goal attempts, I just always got to do it. And in those 2 games, he played 38 and 45 minutes. So that's volume and like opportunities right there for me. So I love that. And as you know, Lakers defense isn't doing too well right now. So I like how that looks. I'm curious. I feel like Bookie almost kind of answered my question talking about the Cavs defense and Lauri. But instead of Lauri's points, what I was looking at was strictly his threes. So if I remember correctly from when I ran it on props cash, he was over on I think 6 of the last 10 on his line. Give me a second. Let me see if I can find it for you. I still got it in front of me. He was over in a pretty good percentage. But he shoots pretty, like the splits aren't really too good. I mean, he shoots just moderately less. But he has a good matchup if he's going to play the perimeter. When I watch Cavs games last year, he played the perimeter a lot. I haven't seen too many Jazz games, but I think he's kind of in the paint now. Him compared to Dorian Finney-Smith. Now, the Timberwolves have allowed the most three-pointers this season, 425. That's a big number, and it's also 20 more three-pointers than the second most team, which I think is the Houston Rockets. Dorian Finney-Smith shoots moderately better on the road, on less attempts, and he's cleared the line in 3 of his last 3. The line right now is 1.5. And against Denver, he went off for 5. So I'm just curious if you were going to take anyone, and not only would you take them at their line, I'm really thinking about to go over their line, like to hit. Lauri's line is at 3 threes. Like imagine him hitting 4 and 5, or Dorian Finney-Smith hitting 3 and 4. That's just what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, I think the Lauri marketing one just from the the revenge angle is definitely in play. Also, Lauri marketing knows how how difficult it is to score. If anybody knows how difficult to score it is on Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, it's definitely him. So I could see him trying to, bring those guys outside the paint, try to get them on the perimeter, and be able to kind of isolate them from out there, or just kind of stand around and draw one of them outside the paint, so that it makes it easier for those guards to kind of get into the lane, and not be able to help off as much at pick and P. That's my thinking on that.
For sure. Yeah, I'm leaning him. I probably won't end up playing anything, just trying to be disciplined just because I think it's close. I might put a little something on the blowout for Cleveland because so many people got great matchups on there. I know Bookie and Flash, they probably want to answer this question, but before I go, I wanted to drop a fun little parlay for y'all, just to keep y'all watching the game, just to keep y'all enticed. That's Giannis, 30 points, 10 rebounds. If you look at his stat lines against the Pelicans the last 2 years, it's quite incredible. I mean, he's been flirting with 40 and a triple-double damn near every game. Darius Garland, 20 and 7 assists, 20.7 assists. Utah, as you know, don't do too well against point guards, and a lot of attention is probably going to go to Donovan Mitchell, which should mean, trying to stop Donovan Mitchell, which means Garland should get his looks. And Luka, 30 and 7. I think that's self-explanatory. Minnesota allows a whole lot of points, and Dallas always needs Luka to score him. But yeah, I'm interested to hear what the rest of y'all think of that, and hopefully that parlay hits. Just for fun, I put 0.1 unit on it, so let's see what happens.
Hey, best of luck, Pick and P. Best of luck, bro. Bookie, you want to take that real quick, and then I'm gonna kick it to you, Flash.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I would maybe even pivot it honestly to someone like maybe Malik Beasley off the bench because there's not a huge drop off honestly on the Cleveland's bench, but it's still a little bit of a drop off. Their defense on the bench is still great with like Lamar Stevens, Cedi Osman. But yeah, I'd probably just pivot to someone on the bench like Malik Beasley, maybe getting a couple 3-pointers.
Okay. Flash, you got some thoughts on that?
Nah, I just got like a little 1 unit play that I have.
Okay, what you got?
I got my boy Pablo for his line, for his point line.
Well, he had 20 and a half today, or?
Yeah, 20. You feel me? I feel like the last 7 games, 20 points against Atlanta the last 3. And I just feel like the narrative between him and DeJounte Murray, I just feel like even if he plays or not plays, I'm just going to like play his point line and ladder him up to I say 30 today. I feel like he's going to have a big day today.
Ooh, okay. Hey, I don't know how much people watching him. I see Hustle requested up, and I feel like Hustle is like he probably Paulo spokesperson at this point in life. But the dude a baller.
He a baller.
Yo,
I got him future pick rookie of the year. I see it.
Yeah, I hope you placed it already because you ain't got no value on that if you ain't placed it yet. Okay.
When he was the first pick.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, I watched him play. I watch him play all the time, but I watched him play yesterday, bro. He was giving Boston everything that they could handle yesterday. Just not looking like a rookie at all. So
he balls, and he's close to getting a triple double a couple of games too.
Yeah. I couldn't talk anybody off his assists either. I like the look, Flash. Best of luck to you, bro.
Yo, listen, man. What's up, man? With the cap, I can't get a ChrisBeCappinn cap. Like that's not for sale.
Yeah. They for sale. Just hit my DM, bro. Let me know what. Let me know.
Copy.
But okay, Bookie, Pick and P. Let me get Ben up, and let me get Vaughn up, and let me get Hustle up. Let's see who I get connected first. Vaughn, look like you connected first, bro. I want to kick it to you. What up, huh?
Yo, what's good, bro? You hear me good?
Yeah, you good. What up?
I'm good, bro. So 4-1 yesterday, man. Only thing that didn't cash was that Boston first half spread. I got a couple ones. Some already talked about, so I can run through these kind of quick. Marketing points, going with the revenge angle. I'll play his point source threes, but me personally, I took his points. Houston first half, -5. They 7th in defensive rating last 5 games. Yes, the Houston Rockets are 5th in defensive rating. I'm sorry, are 7th in defensive rating. Never thought I'd see today. Giannis rebounds, I got it at 10.5. If we look at Giannis rebounds against teams above 500, he's averaging 12.4 on the season. I do see this game being close, so I like Giannis rebounds. I went with the Kings first half spread -5.5. Hornets the last 5 games are negative 15.7 in net rating in the first half. They're allowing teams to shoot 43% from three. Hornets have lost the last 8 straight first halves by an average of 9 points, and they're last in defensive rating and opponents' effective field goal percentage. So Hornets just not looking to play no defense. Kings turn up a little bit at home. Half unit play for me there. And I sprinkled on a little parlay. Fox 20 points and Sabonis rebounds at 12, and I got it at minus 110. I'm not a big fan of parlaying, but I feel like that's pretty good odds, and that's something that can happen. And to get minus 110 odds on those 2 plays, I really, really like those. Let's see. I got a couple lanes as well. Bucks team total under. The Bucks, if you look at the Bucks home and road splits, Chris talks about it all the time, how the Bucks are worse on the road than they are at home. Man, the Bucks are worse in the following categories on the road. They're worse in field goals made, field goal percentage, 3-point made, 3-point percentage, free throws made, attempted, and percentage, rebounds, offensive rebounds, steals, blocks. They even foul more on the road. So when we look at the Bucks, they're averaging 118 at home, but they're only averaging 104.7 on the road. So that team total under is a lane for me. D'Angelo Russell points. Last 6 games, he's averaging about 26.5. His line is only at 17.5, but Dallas does defend the point guard position pretty good. Bogey threes, he's shooting 11 a game. His line is at 3.5, so that'll be a little bit of a volume play. Trae Young under his threes. His line is at 2.5. He's only hit this line in 4 of 23 games. 4 of 27 games so far this.
You in the blender, Vaughn. We can't hear you, bro. Yeah, you broke up just a tad bit, Vaughn. I'll come back to you, bro. Ben, let me kick it to you. What up, Ben?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing okay. How about yourself?
I had the best day of my gambling career yesterday.
I love to hear it, bro. That mean you don't need to put a bet in tonight. You got to relax.
Oh, we got it, man. We got marketing, dude. Everything that everybody's already said is awesome on it. I'll just add, Cavs giving up the most threes to power forwards last 7 and 15 games. And obviously he hasn't played against the Cavs yet, so we don't know what that kind of volume is going to look like in terms of just motivation. Like, we assume it's going to be good. We don't know for sure. We do know that he played the Bulls this year, where he played for a few seasons. And that day he took the most threes he's taken the entire year. So I laddered the threes up to 5. I got 4 at plus 250 this morning and 5 at plus 600. He's hit 5 threes in 4 of his last 9 games, and he's hit 4 threes in 6 of his last 9 games. So, I mean, you're going to give me that kind of plus money on something he's done this regularly. Sure, sounds good. Sounds good to me. I'm on a couple, I wouldn't say like weird ones, but maybe ones that people aren't considering. I'm actually on Giannis's under for points. I didn't realize this until this morning because I kind of wanted to take the over. But he has like maybe the most negative road-home split percentage-wise in terms of points scored that I've seen this year. He's averaging like 32 points per game at home, or 33 at home. He's averaging 25 a game on the road. He's under the line that he, is at tonight in 7 of 9 games this year. And then on top of that, New Orleans is second to last in the league, last 7, 15, and full season in points allowed to opposing power forwards. I'm assuming that's just because of the defensive energy that needs to be exerted on Zion. So, I really like Giannis under the 31.5. The other way, I haven't put it in yet just because I found another creative way to play it as almost like a little bit of like a teaser, was to take an alternate under for Giannis at like 35.5 and then and then add in for him to get 7.5 or 8.5 rebounds. It comes out to minus 124. So a little bit of juice, but he hasn't scored 35 points on the road this year. And in any game that hasn't been a blowout, he's recorded that many rebounds. So just kind of a creative way to do it. And then the last play I'll bring up is Luka Doncic over 30.5 points. I mean, we've beat this one on the head in here a number of times, right? The point guards against Minnesota go off. Whether Gobert's in or not, I don't really care. I mean, he's rested. If Gobert's not in, it helps, obviously. But 30.5 for a rested Luka against a team that's proven that they can't defend the point guard position, giving up the most points to opposing point guards last 15 games. I'm good with that one. If you wanted to play his PRA instead of his points, just to protect against one of those like crazy triple double games, you could do that for sure. But I'm in on the 30.5 for a full unit too.
Like it. I like the Luka play a lot. Ben, I do like Luka tonight. He's been, like you said, he's been crushing that line. I think Luka averages 33 too. So for his line to come back, I know he's like, probably not 100%, but when is Luka ever 100%? So
for sure. And if he is going to be feeling good, it's going to be rested, right? Like that obviously that scheduled loss against the Cavs. Obviously the game before that, what did he do? Like a 35-point triple double?
Yep.
Was it something like that?
Yep.
So I mean, we see it all the time, right? Like these stars, when they sit one game, when they come back, man, like they're usually really good. Like another guy who does that all the time is Morant. I was looking to fade Morant once this year because he had a negative matchup, and I looked, and like every game this year where he's like sat, when he comes back, he's been over like 32 points every single time. I haven't done it on Luka because the Minnesota Timberwolves matchup was just so good. I didn't even need to look at that. But I'm assuming it's probably the same for him. I know on 2+ days rest, though, he is averaging like 34 a game.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
yeah.
Okay. Hey, best of luck, Ben. Best of luck. Hope you cash him, bro. The Giannis underlook is extremely creative and innovative. I like that look a lot too.
Yeah.
That look a lot too. Absolutely. I hope you cash him, bro. Let me kick it to G3. I know you've been waiting for a minute, so I want to get to him and then Hustle. I'm gonna come to you. Then I'm gonna come to Dream and I'm gonna come to Monotone. What up, G3?
How you doing, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good. How you doing, bro?
Pretty good. Appreciate the platform you're putting out, man. Definitely getting a lot of good looks night over night and cashing a lot. I've definitely been running the 10 to 10K challenge. I'm actually on day 6, so I wanted to give out 2 of my plays. So I basically divvied it up where I'm basically running 3 of them at the same time.
Okay.
So as opposed to running just one and having it all crash on one night, I basically divvy it up.
That's a fact.
So my first one I got right now is plus 127. I was gonna run Luka at 26.5, but y'all basically talked me up to his 30, so I went ahead and switched that out. But I got Luka 29.5, 76ers money line, and Banchero 17.5 for plus 132. Sorry, plus 172. So those 3 there.
Hold on. So you got Luka 29.5 points with the Sixers money line.
Yep.
And then you got Banchero to do what? 17.5, you said? Okay, got you.
And then I'm running this one's straight plus 100 when I ran it this morning. Donovan Mitchell 25 points, Garland 6 assists, Harden 8 assists.
Hold on, bro. You talking fast. 20 Mitchell 25, Garland
6 assists.
6 assists.
Harden 8 assists.
Garland. All right, so Garland 6 assists, Harden 8 assists. Okay. All right, got it. Okay.
So, yep, that's all I got though. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you sharing the looks, man. Hope they cash too. Definitely hope they cash. Hustle coming to you, and then Dream, then Monotone. What up, Hustle?
What's the deal, Chris?
What up, man?
Hey, I literally laughed out loud when you said I'm Paolo Smokes person, but hey, it's true. You know what I'm saying? I've been on him since his first game. I told you the first game, I said he's the 20-25 a night guy in this league. And you said, nah, we got to see. I don't know about that yet. I said, nah, man, trust me, this dude, he gets his. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he definitely get it.
Yeah.
He definitely get it, Hustle.
Yeah. So yesterday I had him at when I had his 20 and then Magic to win, and he had 21 at halftime. And a lot of people I don't think are paying attention, but the Magic are on a 6-game win streak, and they did mostly on the road and against playoff teams. It was like the Clippers. They played Toronto twice and beat them, and they played Boston twice with Tatum and without Tatum and beat them both times. So it's been like, I don't want to say free money, but man, it's been good money because they've been plus money to win and high spreads. They were plus 10.5 yesterday. It was 10.5 or 8.5 against Boston yesterday, and I was just just way too high. And
you breaking up, Hustle? If you can hear me, bro.
And, what's that?
I said you was breaking up just a tad bit. If you can hear me.
Yeah. So they on a back-to-back today. They're playing Atlanta, and I mean it's hit pretty much every game. Paolo has got 20 points against Atlanta every matchup this season. And, they got a couple players out. You got Capella's out. DeJounte Murray is out. So definitely taking Paolo for 20 and the money line on Orlando. Worst case scenario, it gives you an opportunity to hedge. Once Paolo gets his 20, the odds are, it was like 360 something. Let me look real quick. Yeah, it was like, I didn't screenshot it, but yeah, it's like 360 or something like that odds. Also, I had tapped in late, so I didn't really catch what you guys saying at the beginning, but I heard, what were you guys saying about the Cavs game? You think that's a blowout spot?
No, I don't think it's a blowout spot. I mean, anything can happen, but I don't think it's a blowout spot. I think the Cavs may have been looking. Honestly, I think the Jazz may have been looking ahead against, in that game on Saturday when they got smacked up against the Bucks, if anything.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, Cavs have been not producing how we thought they were going to be producing, so far this year. But they still compete, but it's just not been at the level that we're used to them. But I got a plus 102 play for them. And this is off like a 90% hit rate. So I got Lauri Markkanen at over 17.5 points.
Okay.
And Donovan Mitchell for 25.
Okay.
So that's an even money play, to get some even money. And then I'm looking at Lonnie Walker over his 17.5. And trying to see what Westbrook's line is. I might take Westbrook's points and assists over, probably separately. Points over, assists over.
Rudy Gobert just got ruled out too.
Gobert's out?
Yeah, he just got ruled out.
Well, it's on Anthony Edwards
and D'Lo. Yeah. Yep. Again,
yeah. But you can count on Anthony Edwards for 23, 25 plus. Lonnie Walker, they got him at 17.5 for plus money. So he definitely got to take that. He just had 21 last night. Oh, now it changed to 102. They must be listening to the station. So now it's minus 102. But yeah, definitely. They don't even got Westbrook props up.
Yeah, they're gonna drop them joints at the last minute. Hustle, you know how that go.
Yeah, I already know. So yeah, that's my 3 right there.
Okay. Appreciate you sharing them, bro. Hope you cash them as always. Dream, what's going on, my guy? Kick it to Dream and then Monotone. I'm coming to you.
What's the vibes, man? How y'all doing?
Good, Dream. I saw that. What you had like a plus 986 or something like that? That cash yesterday, Dream?
Yeah, man. I had a day yesterday.
You did.
It's pretty good, man.
Absolutely, bro. What you got for us today?
Yeah, man. We ain't trying to give it back. So, I got 3 plays. First, Sabonis, rebounds and assists, over 19.5. Y'all saw what Jokic did last night. Sabonis, kind of a similar player. He's going to be on triple-double watch, so why not? I got it at minus 125, so I don't know where it's at now, but LaMelo, over 22.5 points. I've been riding LaMelo threes. I actually get that out here yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But what I noticed when I was watching that game was at the end of the game, he did get the threes, but at the end of the game, like, the game was in hand, and Melo literally was just going to the whole
to the
game.
cup. I had his points Dream, and I had a small parlay personal plays. I had a small parlay with his 5 threes and Anthony Edwards 4 threes, and it was a plus 1,200. And I was just hoping that he hit one more, but like you said, he was just going to the cup every time.
I'm like, that's what you gonna try and tie the game, or you just gonna keep getting this easy money?
Right, right.
So that made me today say, you know what, I'm gonna just get on old boy points. But I can't talk you off the threes, man. So I played this over 22.5 points. That was at DraftKings. They got the 23, I think, at FanDuel. So, and this last one is juiced. But I played it Trey Jones over 20.5 points and assists. This is basically a play hoping that either Vassell or I forget which
Keldon Johnson.
Or who?
Keldon Johnson.
Yeah, hopefully one of them get ruled out. And if so, the Rockets really struggle against guards, but they struggle so much against guards that even if both of them are in, I still don't think it's a bad line. So I took a risk there. But those are my 3 plays: the Trey Jones points and assists, LaMelo points, it's a bonus rebounds and assists, and I just got a feeling Paolo gonna get a double-double tonight. I played it like last week and he got it. Whoever said they his spokesman, yo, I'm the vice president. I told niggas like I've been playing this points prop since it begun, but I don't play it single no more. I just put them on parlays because sometimes we get stuck at 18, 19. But yeah, I like him to get a double-double tonight on DraftKings. It's like $675. Everywhere else it's in the 400s, and it's a bonus triple-double plus 450. That's it.
Ooh, okay. Dream got the spice joints, bro. I told people like 2 or 3 days ago. I said, "Your Dream got the he coming in and giving y'all gems, bro. Like, go follow Dream, bro." Nah, I love it, Dream. Love the looks, bro. Love the looks. Hope you cash him, man. Yeah, nah, we lining up for sure too. It's funny because right before you came up, I just put in the chat. I said, "Yo, I'm probably gonna get back on LaMelo points tonight again." So to hear you on him, bro, I like the look. It's gonna be a high scoring game. I don't think the Kings really want to, play too much defense. So I like LaMelo again, too. I'm probably just going to do the points because I played his points straight yesterday at 21.5. And then I took his threes and just parlayed 4 at 4 and 4 for Anthony Edwards as well. And Anthony Edwards hit the 4, but LaMelo stopped at the 3. So, all love, though. I can't be mad at him. I wish I had just laddered his points. So that's why he said I'm going to probably just get on his points tonight, Dream. But love the looks, bro. Hope you cash all of them, Dream. Best of luck to you, bro. Absolutely. Let me kick it to monotone real quick, and I'm gonna come back to you, Vaughn.
How are we doing, man?
Pretty good, monotone. What you got for us, man? You got some first quarters for us?
Not first quarter right now, but I still did find some pretty fun stuff today. One of my favorite looks is a DraftKings same game parlay. It's Markelle Fultz, 4 assists and 1 steal. It was minus 125 when I gave it out earlier. And I think that's really good value going against the Hawks. Fultz actually made his debut this season against the Hawks, and he only played 19 minutes in that game, but he still did hit this number. He grabbed 4 assists and 2 steals in that matchup. Then he went on to play the Hawks just a week later, and he actually had his best game of the season in that matchup, playing 32 minutes, scoring 16 points, grabbing 9 assists and 7 rebounds. So he almost had a triple-double in that one. He also added on an additional 4 steals. So I do think that this sets up as another great matchup where Fultz gets to go against the Hawks. He started the season, not at full speed, right? He was coming back from a pretty serious injury, but now we've seen him play at least 28 minutes in 3 straight games. And I really only think it takes us, 25 to 28 minutes to get this number, especially against a team he's comfortable playing against right here. So I love Fultz in this one. I think his alt lines right here have a lot of value just because not that many people are paying attention to him. Not that many people are paying attention to how good the Magic have been since he's been back. I think he's definitely made a big impact on that, especially if you look at his relationship with Paolo, right? I believe in that game against the Hawks earlier, he had 5 of his 9 assists to Paolo in that one. So it's definitely a good relationship that I want to take advantage right here. And I also like the over 1.5 steals at plus 160 for a nice sprinkle. Additionally, right there, he gets these steals in these games where he's getting 30 plus minutes. He's done it every game so far this season. So if I think he's going to get 30 minutes, then I'll take the plus 160. And then I do have another plus money spot. It's in the Bucks Pelicans game. I'm going Trey Murphy to have 4 threes at plus 550. I think it's probably one of my favorite long shots I've taken so far this season. The Bucks have the best interior defense in basketball, with Brook Lopez and Giannis both being two of the best shot blockers and both being two of the best rim protectors in basketball. And also having a guy like Bobby Portis to come off the bench, I think that's going to make life for Zion very hard. Zion makes 75% of his points in the paint so far this season, and that's exactly what the Bucks are here to stop. They also have Drew Holiday to guard CJ McCollum, another very, very tough matchup. So I do think the two primary playmakers right here are going to have very tough matchups. I think that's going to funnel outside shots. We've seen this as a trend under Coach Budenhauser really for 3-4 years, right? You want to kind of play these threes against the Bucks because they prioritize that interior defense. They play that drop. So I think Trey Murphy will definitely be the beneficiary. I laddered his threes as high as you can get them on every sports book. I think he's shown he could have a high volume day today.
Okay. Solid looks, Monotone, as always. Solid looks, bro. Hope you cash all of them, Monotone, as always, bro. And appreciate you sharing them as always also. Vaughn, let me kick it back to you, and then Papa Cinco, I'm going to come to you, man. What up, Vaughn? Can you hear me?
Yeah, bro. You good? You hear me good?
Yeah, you good.
Hey, real quick, do you know who the Pelicans backup center is? Because Larry Nance got ruled out, and I see Valanciunas getting played off the court tonight. But I don't know. I haven't seen Jackson Hayes in uniform all year.
Yeah, your guess might be better than mine, Vaughn. Honestly, when it comes to big men, it is typically just Larry Nance Jr., Jonas Valanciunas, and Zion. Let me see what I can find real quick. The Pelicans.
Would it be Najee Marshall, or is he a small forward?
Nah, I know he run like the 3. He be getting Ingram minutes when he come out, or CJ minutes when he come out. Let me see. Hold on. I'll pull it up real quick.
I would assume Hayes, but I don't know where he's been. But Najee Marshall does play bigger than his size. He was a sneaky rebounds guy at the end of last year in some of those garbage time minutes. So I could see him playing some maybe 4 minutes in some of these backup lineups as well. But yeah, I have no clue if it wasn't Hayes, who else would be there.
Yeah, I agree with that, Monson. Yeah, and that's what I'm seeing too. They got Najee Marshall listed as a forward on here. Him, Trey Murphy, Zion, and Devontae Graham as well, which Devontae Graham is definitely not a forward. For centers, they just got Jonas Valanciunas. Dyson Daniels is definitely not a big guy. He's a small guy. Jose Alvarado, CJ, we know Herb is back, but he's not a center. And Larry Nance Jr. So they're gonna be pretty slim tonight, Ron.
All right, bet. I'm gonna just have to catch something live then, because I don't see too much, and I gotta find a way to attack him with this backup big man spot.
Okay. Cinco, what's going on, my guy? How you doing today?
What's going on, Chris? Can you hear me?
Yeah, sir. You good, man? What's going on? How you doing, and what you got for us today?
Nothing much, man. I just got a couple picks, man. I ain't gonna beat a dead horse with the Lowry talk. I'm on Lowry, of course. I'm a Chicago guy, so as you know, when Lowry play the Bulls, he go crazy. So he do take these revenge games. So he take them pretty serious. So I'm gonna play the revenge narrative against the Cavs. Lowry at 20 plus. I'm surprised no one has brought this up, but my favorite play on the slate is Drew Holiday. 18.5, no Middleton. It's a revenge game for him too. Former Pelican. The Pelicans just been giving it up to guard, and they've been giving up 117 points. They haven't given up less than 117 points in their last 5. So I expect some points to be scored in that game, and with no Middleton, that kind of points to Drew. And then my second favorite play in the game, I'm hoping Keldon Johnson gets ruled out. Going with Trey Jones for the Spurs. They just played a couple weeks ago. He had one of his best games of the season against Houston, and Houston giving up 32 points to the point guard over their last 7. He's at 13.5 right now, which is way too low, especially if Keldon Johnson is out. So I'm gonna look at Trey Jones, and I might actually ladder it up to 17.5, maybe 20 plus, just depending on the news. So I just want to just talk about those two players that nobody else had kind of really talked about.
Yeah, no, definitely original takes there. I didn't even think about that. Definitely gonna need him without Middleton being there as well. Best of luck to you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Best of luck to you. Anybody else got anything they want to mention real quick before we hop up off here? I think we did a pretty solid job. I think it was definitely a solid job. Go back to my guy Ben real quick. Ben went well. I thought Ben had something else, but maybe he doesn't. I think we did a pretty solid job, man. I started by telling you guys I only had one official, and that was the Bucks in the.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Ben, can you hear me?
I was just gonna say Keldon just got ruled out. If no one saw that.
Oh yeah, I saw it too. Yeah, Keldon did just get ruled out. Yeah, nah, appreciate that, Ben. Appreciate that. Big Meech, what's going on, my guy? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Chris? How you doing?
I'm good, bro. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. I played that Vassell over 2 steals, over 1.5.
Okay.
Plus 170 that LJ played. But in correlation to that, I'm playing KPJ over 3.5 turnovers. He's hit in 4 straight, 6-6, 4-4, last 4. Fast-paced game versus the Spurs. He's going to draw Trey Jones or Vassell. 18 turnovers per game for Houston. Just lines up well. Another one now, especially if OG's in. He just got ruled in, OG Anunoby. I got Harden over 3.5 for minus 120. He's hitting 5 straight since coming back, 4, 6, 4, 5, and 7. And now that the steals leader is back in, I think that only helps solidify that case. As well as Embiid was at 3.5 for around even money. With the Raptors being smaller, I think they're going to go to him. He's going to draw a lot of doubles. Guys like Siakam and OG going to be trying to steal that. Fred VanVleet's got some heavy hands. So, I think all 3 of those guys get over their turnovers tonight.
So, Meech, I know you a diehard Raptor fan. You up there in Canada. I got a question for you. What?
We taking a big fat L tonight.
Now I was gonna ask you, all right. So if y'all lose the game, Meech, who gonna get their numbers tonight? Because OG being ruled in, which we just got the news of that. He's definitely gonna be on Harden, right? And then, like you said, the double team's gonna come.
Hit their number tonight. It's got to be Siakam, right? VanVleet's gonna have a tough defender with Melton on him. He's 6'9" wingspan. He's gonna be sticky as hell. You got OG who's just coming back, who's probably gonna have a tough time getting back in the rhythm.
Well, I was talking about from the opposite side though. From the opposite side, Mitch, because we know that Nurse probably does the best job in the league on Embiid out of any team, right? I think he guards them.
But that's when he's got the assets, right? That's when he's got guys like Marc Gasol and some solid guys.
Precious Ochoa, right? But don't you think he still sends doubles? You think he sends doubles? You think Embiid still gets his number or no?
I think he sends doubles. I think he gets his number. I think Embiid hits his turnovers, and I think Embiid hits his assists too.
Okay. Right? Solid.
I think he's just going to eat. I think he's going to 30 and 15 with 30, 15 and 5 with 5 turnovers.
What about Harden? He's going to draw OG probably, right? And then
and he's going to be feeding it down to Embiid, right?
Yeah.
That's how you got to look at it, but that's just how I see it.
A lot of pick and rolls to get OG off of him, probably.
But that's just going to draw a lot of attention, which I think Harden gets those turnovers, but he's going to be the only guy with the ball in his hand. There's a sneaky look. I think Tobias Harris is over 16.5 points at plus 100. I was looking at that because everyone expects Harden and Embiid to eat, but like you said, Nurse is going to plan for those guys. You got Tobias. I think he's hitting 5 of 5 or 4 of his last 5, over 16.5. So that's shooting 55% over his last 10 games, something like that. So that's another way, but it just doesn't. I hope I'll be cheering for the Raptors, but I don't think they got it in the tank tonight. It's just a bad matchup for them. Just a bad matchup, and they don't have the size. Their depth isn't there. They get lost Gary Trent today. They did get OG back, but that oftentimes doesn't result in good performance in the first game back. So we'll see. Who knows? Maybe Embiid gets a dud and Harden doesn't have one turnover and drops 50 tonight. Who knows? maybe we're completely wrong, but let's watch the game and see what happens.
Yeah, no, for sure. I like I love your takes on your Raptors, bro, because I know you watch them, from being in the building with them to watching them on TV. You cover them pretty well, so appreciate your take on that, Mitch. I was just want to kind of talk that out with you, especially since we just got the news that OG was going to be in.
Yeah, and that's another reason why I tapped in. I said, shit, if OG's going to be in, and if that, I don't know if that Harden line is still at -120 for 3.5. But I tweeted it and got it out earlier today, hoping that OG gets reeled in, and yeah.
Yeah. Marcus Gasol would be helpful tonight. Probably even straight off the street, Marcus Gasol. Yeah, to try to slow down Embiid. Don't look for Marcus Gasol props though. I'm just kidding on Marcus Gasol, but he's not playing. But yeah, he could definitely be helpful tonight if if Nick Nurse had him. Okay, all right. I think we did a really good job, Mitch. I appreciate your input. Now for sure, I think a lot of you guys did, man. Everybody from Vaughn to like Dream Looks, Monotone Hustle. Ben, I think gave out some really good looks earlier. A lot of people gave out good looks, man. I think I got a little more to think about now. I haven't put anything in, like I said, except that under. But these player props are looking good, man. I think I'm gonna run LaMelo back tonight, just because I expect Sacramento to get up and down the floor and play at a really fast pace. Also expect LaMelo has not played too many games this year, so he hasn't had a lot of stress on his body. I like LaMelo to be. He probably not as fatigued as everybody else on the team, so I'm probably gonna run LaMelo points back tonight. And I got a couple other decisions to make as well, man. I like a lot of these player props. I'm probably gonna find 2 or 3. Tweet out whatever it is that I end up taking. I want to do a little more work on them, but I'll read off a couple that that were given out. Starting at the top. So LJ mentioned Jalen Green points. Really good look against a Spurs team that gives up the most points in the league. He's also on KPJ points, rebounds, and assists. KPJ over 1.5 steals. Devin Vassell 1.5 steals. Garland assists is a really good look tonight. Like I said, you can kind of dumb these down, especially if you guys are doing the $10K to $10 to $10K challenge. Darius Garland is a sneaky look too. Shout out to Wham. I know he gave that out earlier on RC's show. Trae Young assists, definitely in play tonight. Luka PRA. Luka point straight, as Benjamin is mentioned as well. Over the 30.5 is a solid look. With his number going down. The books probably dropped it because they don't expect him to be 100%. Thomas Bryant over 25.5 points plus rebounds with no AD, no LeBron. Somebody got to do it, right? Wendell Gabriel did come back off the injury list, so I think he's expected to play to be a backup, but not sure what his minutes going to look like and how Coach Ham is going to use him. Sabonis rebounds straight, his rebounds plus assists. I know Dream mentioned that 19.5. I think it was a -125. Couldn't talk anybody off the Rockets first half. I know the spread's probably moving in their direction. Might be up to 2.5, maybe even 3 now. Couldn't talk anybody off that. The interesting look on Dame, right? Shout out to Zachariah in the chat, and I know somebody mentioned it in the space as well. Only needing 23 points to pass Clyde Drexler on the all-time list for the all-time Portland Trailblazers scoring list. Bookie mentioned it as well. Embiid rebounds as well. I think that's a good look. Mikal Bridges typically steps up for the Phoenix Suns when Devin Booker doesn't play. So couldn't talk anybody off his points. Tim Hardaway Jr. just got ruled out as we speak. I like LaMelo points tonight. I like LaMelo points a lot. I think Vaughn gave out a solid 2-legger with Sabonis rebounds and De'Aaron Fox points. If you dumb both of those down to get you some plus money, -105-ish, -110-ish. Laurie Marketing couldn't talk anybody off his threes and his points. I think Hustle gave out dumb marketing points down just a tad bit to about 7.5, and take Mitchell at 25 is a good look. Trey Jones, 20.5 points plus assists. Paolo double-double. I know Dream said he was on those. Like those looks a lot as well. And the looks that Monotone mentioned as well, especially the Markelle Fultz, 4 assists and the 1 steal. He's been playing playing heavy point guard minutes. This is a second night of a back-to-back for them with travel, but he's still young, man. He's still young. He should be able to get it done. So official looks I'll tweet out, but like I said, the only official thing that I have in so far is going to be the under in the Bucks game against the Pelicans. Excited to watch that game. Also, probably gonna play Portland. I think Portland just comes out here and I think they take care of business tonight against the Oklahoma City Thunder. So that's what I got for you guys. Tomorrow morning, back at it all over again. 7 a.m. Tap in with me. YouTube, subscribe, share the videos, retweet, all those good things. Best of luck to you guys. As always, none of this is financial consultation. It's theory, logic, query, trends, SDQL stuff, eye test. Bet with your head and not over it until we meet again. Best of luck to you guys tonight. I'm out.